Hello everyone, welcome to our Accounting 160 class, this first part of the semester. Um, we're going to be working together for the next 7 weeks and using a course site that you see in front of you for this class to be taught online. We're so grateful that you've joined us and grateful you've chosen to be part of this class. So this video is just to help you feel more comfortable, know where everything is, feel like you're ready to go on day one. So this is similar in if you've ever had a class from me in the past, it'll feel very much like those classes. I use the same format for each class, but across the top, using the icons, you can find just about everything you really need to see. With one click, the most important things, at least I thought, were the most important things you need to access across the top. In the middle is our news feed where I try to keep updated and reminders for things that are due and the things that are coming up each week. On the right hand side, my picture, my contact information, including my Zoom room where you can go online during office hours. So those are all the ways that you can reach me. Down further is the calendar as well as the content, but most of you will probably use the content icon to find most things. So let's jump in and see what is available there in the content. As I click on the content, you see that everything is organized in modules on the left-hand side, roughly by week. So 7 weeks, 7 modules. The start here introduction has the syllabus, has a link to our textbook, as well as a place where you can ask questions and introduce yourself to the rest of the class. So let's just jump right here to the textbook first. The textbook is free, online. You click on it here. In each module is a link to a particular chapter we're covering. Again, we have 7 weeks, 6 chapters to cover, plus the week for finals. So, and each of the textbook is organized the same way in each chapter. You click on the chapter, you get this question and answer. Usually there's a scenario to start our chapters, and then there are questions and an answer. That's the format. Textbook asks you a question so you get your brain thinking, and then explains the answer so that you can feel like you understand why it is that we're explaining those things. All the way through, there are what we call check yourselves. You stop, read questions, compare your thoughts to the solution given right below it, and then go on with your reading. At the end of each chapter, all right, and the chapters seem a little long online because it takes up a lot of space. There are some end of chapter exercises or questions, if you will, at the end here. They are numbered. They start one with questions, and they go through and get increasingly more complex. So there's questions, and then there's brief exercises. Then there are exercises, which are a little longer, and then there are problems, okay, and cases, okay. Our homework we're going to do is typically going to come from the problems or the cases, okay, not from the earlier ones. What I have done on the questions, exercises, brief exercises, is I have given you answers to those in the module. So if you want to use those to review what you learned, answer them, then check your answers. That would be a good way to review what you went over in the textbook for that chapter. So that's how our textbook is organized. We saw where to find it. It was in that introduction, and you also find it, the chapter, individual chapter links in each module. You can ask the bookstore to print it for free, okay? Or you can, at the link, you can actually download the PDF, print out parts that you want to print out, or order a printed textbook from the actual, what's called LibreText, which is where the textbook is housed. Okay. The other important thing here is, of course, the syllabus. So let's pop in there and see if there's things on the syllabus that we need to know. Some information about my office hours, timing, credit hours, CRN numbers, from phone numbers, including the administrative assistant. Refund dates, my email address outside, and my hack email. Typically, emailing me through Brightspace is the best, but if there's something else that you can use that email address. What our prerequisites are: catalog description, another link to the textbook from the syllabus, what are learning objectives, expectations. Okay, we want you to ask questions. We want you to be able to get them easily. And of course, what more than anything, unfortunately, sometimes interested in how we're going to be graded. So there will be tests. There will be 2 tests, a midterm. It will be an Excel spreadsheet that you will complete and then resubmit back into a Dropbox on Brightspace. And you'll have several days to work on that at your time, whatever time frame you want, and then get it back in by the due date. And then the final, though, will be actually timed. So once you start it, you'll only have 120 minutes to answer the multiple choice short answer questions that will be given to you on the test. That will be taken in Brightspace. And don't worry, we'll do a review, and we'll get you prepared for that exam so that you'll feel comfortable taking it in that format. There are some discussion boards on each chapter, which are just for questions, meaning there's no grading. We're just giving you a way to ask questions easily, quickly. But there is also a required discussion posting, which is going to be graded. Okay, and that you open up the discussion board. You'll read the directions, answer questions, respond to the prompt, read it carefully, make sure you read all of it, because there's instructions for both your initial posting and your follow-up posting. And you will need to at least post twice to get full credit. Additional postings, of course, are always welcome. Corrections to your original posts are welcome if you realize, based on reading others, that you need to add something or take something away from your original answer. All of that is encouraged. This is a discussion to try to get to some correct answers and some better understanding. Your first post is due by Saturday for full credit. Follow up by Monday, when the discussion board will lock. It doesn't lock on Saturday. You won't notice a difference, but when the second post is due on Monday, after that, when it reaches that due date, it will lock and you won't be able to post further. We'll have a couple of written memos, practice explaining concepts to others that are technical. These only need to be about a page, but we need to use our professional business memo format. You can check what that looks like using Google, easy enough. Professional business memo format. It has a heading, to, from, should have a date, It should have a subject that allows someone who very quickly know what this memo is about. You should, if you use sources for your information, should make sure that you cite them. I do not care what type of citation, but make sure that you cite them and have them listed at the end. I encourage you to use professional, trusted resources, okay, rather than just maybe your more popular sources. Memo topics, what we're going to do as they come along, and I'll remind you of those as we get there. Okay, there'll be that more detail about what exactly we're dealing with will be in the instructions to the Dropbox. About halfway through, we'll put you in a group to work on this group ethics project where we'll consider a business decision and the ethics behind it and what the motivations might be, and we'll write one paper per group to explain our choices and what we think should have happened. Homework, as we discussed or pointed out in the textbooks from the end of the chapter, your homework answers are due on Saturday. As soon as you have turned in your homework, whether you turn it in on Monday, Thursday, Saturday, right at the deadline, you will then immediately be able to see the answers that I've come up with and posted. Prior to turning in that homework, you will not be able to see it. It'll be grayed out on your screen. You won't be able to click on it. But as soon as you turn that in, you'll be able to click on the answers and review your answers and make corrections. Please make those corrections in a different color, some way, or highlight, whatever, and provide some explanation as to why it was wrong, why you made the correction. Original answers on Saturday, or at least by Saturday, and the corrections by Monday. If you make, regardless of whether you get them right the first time or have to make corrections, as long as you correct everything, okay, and get that turned in by the deadline, you will get full credit, regardless of how many mistakes you made in the original. Okay. Our class activities and calendar, pretty straightforward, just every week, chapter, homework, discussion with the memos and the tests are really the crux of it. Here's how it breaks down by points and how the grading structure will work. How we'll deal with makeup. You have a lot of flexibility, but we still have deadlines, and we need to get things in by the deadline. And if there is a problem with doing that, then you need to let me know as soon as possible before the deadline. All right, after the deadline, there's not a lot we can do about that. Okay, so if we need to turn things late, you need to let me know before the deadline. Okay, our attendance policy, links to disability services, any help you might need in that regard, and our policy for academic dishonesty. Please do your own work, and everybody will learn a lot more and be a lot happier. So that's how our class will work. Again, remember, you have lots of ways to ask questions, and don't hesitate to do so.